This is our meeting. Good evening, welcome to the meeting. In attendance, we have Commissioners Joan, myself, Peter Bigelow. We haven't heard from Manny. Also in attendance is Matt Anderson and Todd McClutchy. Channel 79 is here recording the meeting. Crystal is here as our management representative from Imagineers. First item on the agenda is we have minutes from the meetings of June, July, and September. Have you all gotten the minutes and had a chance to take a quick look at them?
Are you doing individually or
I'm
all
sorry.
together?
I'm sorry, Peter, what?
Are you going to seek to have them approved individually or all together?
I don't, unless there's some question about one individual set of minutes, the chair will say without objection, the minutes of the 3 meetings posted on the agenda shall be approved. Hearing none, so ordered. The minutes are now approved.
Very good. Thanks.
That, by doing it that way, that's a Robert's Rules of Order trick. If you do it that way, you don't have people have to abstain who weren't at the meeting or anything.
That's right, I was going to say, because I was only at the September meeting, but it's reflected here in the minutes that I was only there. So.
Hearing no objections,
Yep.
the minutes are
That
approved, and you're done. Get on. Property manager's report. Crystal, what do you got for us tonight?
Okay, so for the Royal, I know a couple months ago we were talking about directional signage. I have put that into order, so that should be coming soon, so that everyone knows which apartments go right and which go left. When you get off the
This when
elevator.
you get off the elevator, there's just signs on the wall so we can, the people who come know whether to go right or left to get to the apartments they're looking for.
We also
That's
had
nice.
the request for the cart that has been put up, and the residents seem to really love it. So it's being used, and it's always in the lobby so that it can be used for groceries and packages.
I can assure you from personal experience, I have used the cart numerous times. I would like to say for the record, I would appreciate it if I didn't have to use it so many times, but I can't convince my wife that it's time to stop ordering from Amazon. So I get home each evening and there are many packages which I need the cart to get up to our apartment. Okay, what else you got?
And also for the Royal, we have this Friday our quarterly sprinkler testing, so I'll send out a notice for that tomorrow. We do not need to enter the apartments, but we will be going around the building to check all the sprinklers for the quarterly test.
Okay.
That's all I got for the Royal.
All right. What do you got for here at the Heights?
For the Heights, so I know that there was talks about the trash signs that are being put up outside of the trash areas here. So we looked into purchasing signs for them. The sign is really long, it's too lengthy, it comes up too expensive. So what we're gonna do is once every quarter, I'll just send out the trash rolls to everybody, under everyone's door to remind them about the trash rolls.
Okay.
And as complaints come in, we'll individually remind that building again.
Okay.
There was also reports of the latches being broken. We have replaced those latches, and we have some on stock, so as they break, we can keep replacing.
These are the latches on the
trash area.
The trash area.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also, you're probably, the residents are gonna see repairs being made to the sidewalks. So we're fixing the sidewalks that were kind of they were like falling off. That's all being repaired right now. That started yesterday. Did not happen today because of the weather.
Sure.
And then also this Friday, we will be doing the annual sprinkler inspection where we do have to enter every single apartment. So we will send out a notice for that also tomorrow.
And that'll be here at the Heights,
That's for the
not
Heights.
at the Royal.
For the Royal, no entering apartments.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions, comments? Anybody not happy with what we're up to?
Who's doing the sprinkler system testing?
Cintas.
Cintas?
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along. Old business.
Is that a contract
Yes.
they have?
Todd, what do you got for us on the soundproofing?
Todd, you're on mute.
The soundproofing is moving along. We're working with the design team and insurance company on working out the details there. So the permit papers are into the town at this point. up and get ready to go for the beginning of January.
So that's firm now. Any tenants that ask questions about when we're gonna start the project, it will be sometime in January. We will not attempt to do anything before the holidays. Because we can't guarantee that we won't interrupt the holidays, and we don't wanna do that.
Correct. So there might be some prep work that's done and maybe unoccupied units and things like that, but occupied units, I think we can safely say that will start around the first week, second week of January.
Okay. Any comments, questions? Everybody understand what we're doing? Anything else under old business? Anybody got anything that I've forgotten? I don't think there's anything hanging fire. Moving right along. New business. The first item under new business is to introduce our new resident tenant commissioner, who is Mr. Joe Fagno. Joe, congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Like I said when you first came in tonight, you're going to find this terribly exciting. In spite of the lack of attendance, our meetings are very exciting. Every month we do things that people recognize that we're really doing good work here. Given the weather, I'm not surprised that we don't have more in attendance. Joe, if there's any questions that come along, you can talk to Crystal or you can talk to me, and we'll try to get you whatever answers we can.
All right.
Your job, just to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on here, the job of the resident commissioner is not to solve everybody's problem. They will ask you to do that. They will continue to ask you to do that. Your job is to make sure that if a tenant has an issue, it comes before the board. It doesn't get ignored. How the board decides to deal with it is up to the board. We can't have individual board members making decisions on how we're going to deal with things. We just need to know what the problem is and then discuss it at a meeting. Now, I say that if there are a lot of simple things that can happen that we can just talk to management and get it done. There's things we don't have to discuss as a full board. But don't let the tenants get to you and say, your job as our commissioner is to fix our problems. It's not. And mostly it's not because you can't. It's just, you know, I mean, I get it all the time because I'm a resident at the Royal. And everybody, you know, in the elevator, they all think that I can solve all their problems. All I can do is make sure it comes to the meeting and that it gets discussed. Okay?
Yep.
All set? All right, moving right along. Do we have anything else under new business that I'm not aware of? Anybody got anything? Anybody got any issues? Oh, it's nice to have everything quiet, especially leading into the holidays. Holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving next month, and then Christmas. We will arrange for activities at both locations. And you'll be notified as those arrangements are made.
Yep.
We have in the past had a Christmas party here at the Heights. We'll see whether we're going to do that this year and whether we're going to do something at the Royal. We do tend to have an inn for Christmas parties.
And first of all, I just want to say thank you for sending the newsletter
Oh,
from the
you're welcome.
Royal, and that was great to see. And you shared the documents from the meeting, so thank you for
Yeah.
sending them. That was great.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Okay, residents associations, we have nobody here from the Heights. I'm not aware that there's anything, the office heard any issues, problems, complaints? Okay, the Royal, I'm not aware of anything going on over there. That's the usual concerns. We have a couple of tenants who are having very specific problems, and we will address them very specifically. These are not board-type problems. Okay, if somebody's got a specific problem with their apartment, we'll deal with it on an individual basis, unless it's a systemic problem, in which case you'll hear about it at the meeting. That's it? Anything else? Anybody got anything I'm missing? In that case, the chair will entertain.
I'll say one thing, just on the record, I want to thank the staff for getting minutes appreciate when we have a chance to review everything well before the meeting, rather than trying to glean what we can at the last minute. So thank you, Crystal, for getting everything done. I do appreciate it.
No.
And thank you, Matt, for making
And
sure
that reminds me
that.
that Peter, I owe you some numbers where you are getting those together over probably the next week or two. But I will actually just send you a ballpark now.
Okay, very good. Appreciate it.
Take it with a grain of salt, and then we'll figure it out over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, absolutely.
I suppose I should have mentioned this under the Royal. We are converting the construction loans to permanent loans. And as part of that process, Peter and I have been required to show up at the lawyer's office and sign some documents. There isn't anything here that we didn't expect. This is a standard procedure. You take out a construction loan to get the construction done, and once the construction is done and we're satisfied that the construction is done, you convert those to permanent loans for long-term. And there was one question that came up relative to the bonding. Again, not a surprise. We knew when we did the initial bonding that we were not bonding for the entire amount that we were entitled to bond. We left a little bit in reserve in case we, at the end, when we did the conversion, if we felt that it was necessary to increase the bonding, we could do that, and we have in fact done that. But again, it is nothing that was not anticipated, and none of the numbers are out of whack with what our expected budget at the time was. Peter's requested from Todd a complete breakdown of the finances of the construction. What did we spend on the relocation? What did we spend on actual construction? What did we spend on site prep? How did the budget break out? And in terms of what we budgeted and what we actually spent, and then those numbers are coming. Peter's our treasurer, and they'll come to Peter. And if there's anything that causes him to look twice, he'll let us know. But again, we don't see anything in any. I've talked with the lawyers over and over and over again, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the legal team that worked on this. People from Todd's office, people from Wayne Fox's office. They put in a tremendous amount of time. One of the issues with this particular project that is the Royal, and actually it occurred when we did the Heights, most of the banking people, the people who do these types of loans, use boilerplate language for it. And in most cases, well, I should say most, in many cases, not-for-profit organizations take on low and moderate income housing, and at the end of a time period, 40 years, 60 years, and it depends on the particular project, the developers have the right to convert to market rate. And so all of the boilerplate documentation covers that contingency. In the case of both the Heights and the Royal, that was never a consideration because both pieces of property have deed restrictions that spell out that they will be used for low and moderate income housing in perpetuity, forever. So what we didn't want to have happen is long after I'm gone, somebody come back and say they intended to change the deed restrictions because if they hadn't, they wouldn't have left the language in the documents. So we got all that language out of the documents, and that was a major undertaking by the legal team to make sure that happened properly. And I thank them for that. I've said enough. That's it. We have nothing else under new business. We got nothing else. Anybody's got any questions, comments? In that case, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn the public session. We will move into executive session for a quick meeting. There is nothing that I'm aware of that will go on in the executive session that will cause us to come back to public session to vote.